Hello, and welcome to this short class on focus. With the many distractions in our lives, this is a great practice to help us focus. And we're only going to focus on one pose at a time, so it will not be a flow. We're going to hold the poses for a couple of breaths to really bring ourselves in the present moment, which is a wonderful, valuable life skill to have, to be able to be in the present moment. It makes us more appreciative and happy in our lives. So let's get started. Today you'll need potentially a couple blocks. If you're really flexible, you may find that you don't need these, but I always find these are just great to have on hand just in case. They're great tools. We'll start with a quote by Rumi. Let the waters settle, and you will see the moon and stars mirrored in your own being. So today in today's class, really, as we're doing these poses, let the water settle a bit. As you're focusing on those poses, let the water settle and see what comes. So let's go ahead and let's stand up, and we will we'll start in mountain pose. So all four corners are deeply grounded into the mat. Your feet are about hip distance apart, maybe a little wider if you like. We're going to inhale, bring those arms up overhead. And then exhale, we're going to side bend to the right. So to make this a little easier, or if you prefer, you can always drop that right arm down and just have the left arm going up top. Really open this left side body here. Breathing here, in and out through the nose. Inhale, come back up. And now inhale those arms back up. And now side bend to the left. So bring both your arms over to the left. Side bending. You can always drop that left arm down to the left if you like. Right arm up overhead. Opening this right side body here. Take some deep breaths here. In and out through your nose. Remember to be here and present in this moment. Inhale, come back up and go ahead and drop those arms down to your sides. All right, we're going to start with our first pose. We're going to do a low lunge. So go ahead and step the left foot back. Drop that back left knee. Untuck your toes. And to start, we're going to start more upright. Again, this is where blocks could really come in handy. If you find that your balance isn't great here, for whatever reason, use them. Use the blocks if you need them, or have them nearby as just in case. So right now, back off a little bit. Instead of dropping into the hip, let's just come on back up here. We're going to kind of open up that quad a bit. And again, remember, our focus of today's class is focus. That's our theme. So we're going to try to really focus here, breathing in and out through the nose, nice and deep, feeling this pose. What do you feel in this pose? What needs to be adjusted? What would make it better for you? Another inhale and exhale here. And then we're going to go ahead and come deep, a little bit more deeply into this pose. So you can bring that right foot forward more if you need to. You can always pat up your knee if your knees are sensitive. Again, the blocks come in handy here. And really sink deep into the hips. So now you really open up that left hip flexor a bit here. Back off a bit if you find it's just too much. So just find your place in between here and maybe your deepest. Find where you need to be here. Inhaling here. And really find your focus in this pose. Notice your sensations in your body. Notice the sounds around you. Notice your thoughts. If you're clouded with thoughts, that's okay. As the practice progresses, you may have less. They may start to go away a bit. Another inhale here. Exhale. One more inhale and exhale. And then we're going to go ahead and do the other side. So step forward on your mat. And now we're just going to step back in the other one. So go ahead and step that right foot back. Drop that right leg, your right knee back down. Untuck those back toes. And remember, for the first part, we're just going to back off a bit. So we're going to come more upright. So you're really helping to open up the quads there on your right side. My quads are really tight, perpetually tight for whatever reason. So this is a really nice one to help open up those quads. You can always bring your arms up overhead if you like. You can have goalposts. You can have your arms behind your back. Whatever you feel that you need today for you. I'm just going to stay with my arms down to the sides for now. But you go ahead and pick what is going to work for your variation to help you focus. So if bring your arms up overhead helps you focus more, then do that. Inhale here and exhale. And then we're going to go ahead and sink into that right hip a bit. just that left foot if you need to. Come into your variation, whatever feels best for you. Use the blocks if you need to. Back off if you need to. This can be intense. And we're picking poses that can be intense sometimes, or helps you needs balance to help you focus, because it gives something for your mind to focus on instead of everything else that your mind wants to focus on. So notice your breath here. Focus on your breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then go ahead and step forward on your mat. Nothing fancy here. Not doing any flows today. Shake that out for a moment. Now we're going to do a high lunge. So step that left foot back. Balance yourself. Get yourself steady here. Again, the wider your stance is, your feet, the wider they are apart, the easier this is going to be. The closer they are in, it's going to get much harder. So go ahead and find what works for you. And when you find that steady point, that place where you feel balanced, feel like you can stand up, go ahead and stand up. And again, take whatever arm variation works best for you. My shoulder's been bothering me lately, so I'm going to do a little help with my shoulder opening here and just stretch my arms back. But you pick whatever works for you. It could be goalpost, it could be arms to your sides, it could be up, whatever. Pick what works for you. And again, notice your breath. Notice your sensations in your legs, in your pelvis, your core, everything. Notice everything's working together to keep you upright here. Always remember to breathe in and out through the nose, through all of these poses. You may not always cue the breath, but always try to remember to breathe. I'll try to remind you. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and step forward on the mat, and we'll do the other side. We're going to come back into that lunge to do a twist, but we're going to take a little break because I notice my leg gets a little tired. So we're going to go ahead and step that right foot back. And now here we are in a nice high lunge. And again, arm variation can be whatever's suiting you right now. Feel what works best for you. While you're in this pose, focus on that front leg is deeply bent, your back leg is nice and straight, hugging into the midline. Really focus on your body in this pose and how this pose is feeling for you right now. Deep inhales and exhales also help focus you. It's an important life skill to be able to focus in life. Go ahead and step forward. And now we're going to do that twist in the high lunge. So go ahead and step that left foot back again. Come into your high lunge. Get yourself steady because you're going to need to balance here to twist. You can do the twist one of two ways. You can either bring your elbow, you may say not going to happen, but I'll show you. Elbow, your left elbow down to your right knee and twist over to the right. Your hands can be in prayer. That is not working for you, and that's just too deep of a twist. Find your balance here. Okay. Don't fall over. Then you can just open your arms out to the right or to the sides and turn your body to the right. This is also a great twist. So pick your variation today, what feels best for you. This one really requires focus, which is an important life skill. And inhale, come back up. Shake all that out. You probably should really be feeling that in your legs today. So it's good. You're focused on that, and maybe it's less focused on the many things you need to do. Let's do the other side. Let's try that again. Right foot back. And now here we are. We're going to twist. So again, you can either bring that right elbow down to your left knee and twist to the side with your hands in prayer. This is too deep. This is too much. Come back up and turn your body simply to the left and arms out to the side. So either one is going to work really nice. They're both great twisting poses. You're getting the same benefits. I don't feel like you have to do this. Or you could always modify however it feels best for you. So in life, we need to be able to focus so that we can come up with goals and dreams and things that we want to achieve in our life. And the focus helps us do that. So through a yoga practice will help us. Go ahead and step forward. Shake that out. Now we're going to come into chair. So we're going to bend deeply back and like you're sitting into a chair. So you can have your feet about hip distance apart. You can have them close together if you like, if you find that's better for you. You're going to sit yourself back like you're sitting into a chair. So I'll turn sideways so you can see. This one's also intense. It's helping you focus, bringing it into the body. So go ahead and sit back in that imaginary chair. You can keep your hands either on your knees if you'd like, or to make this a bit more challenging, you can bring them up overhead. You could leave them back down to your sides. You could bring them at prayer. Pick your variation. What feels best for you today? And really sink back into that chair. Noticing you're bringing the weight back into your heels more than your toes. And this can be an intense pose. But again, we're working on focus. Focus. Focus in this. Focus on your breath. Another 2 breaths in and out through the nose. You can do it. Hold it. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. And then release it and go ahead and just do a forward fold. I'm going to go ahead and widen out my legs for my forward fold. So just really let all of that go. Shake your head, yes or no if you need to. Really let that go. And then go ahead and stand up. And now we're going to do our balance pose here. So, which definitely requires focus. And I suggest having a block nearby as a support, especially if this one is hard for you. And this one is kind of a tougher balance pose, but it's a great balance pose. So we're going to stand on the left leg, and we're going to bend that knee deeply. Not deeply, but somewhat. And then you're going to bring the right leg over on top. Now, the idea is to wrap that right leg around. That may be difficult. So if it's difficult, use the block or just have it sitting alongside the other leg, like you're sitting at a table with your legs crossed. So you decide what works for you. Then our right leg is on top. So we're going to do our left arm on top. So take your arms out to the sides, cross them with your left arm over up top, and then bring them up. Now you may find this is good enough, or if you're able, wrap your palms to touch each other. If this doesn't work for you, bring the left arm across your chest. Also a great shoulder opener, and if you don't need to fight it. You don't need to fight to get your palms together. You don't need to fight. Just find what works for you. So pick that variation. Your legs are in eagle, possibly wrapped. Find that focal point. Maybe your hands are wrapped, or maybe you are just like this. All of these are great. Find what works for you. Focus. Breathe here. Hold it. Exhale and release that. Great job, whatever variation you did of that. Move the block over here, on the other side for the other side. Now we're going to balance on that right leg. So again, bend a bit in your knee. Either hook it on the back of your calf, your left leg on your left foot on your calf, or use the block, or just let it dangle in space like you were sitting at a table with your legs crossed. Pick what works for you. Now our left leg is on top, so now our right arm will be on top. So bring your arms out to the sides, cross them with your right arm over up top, bring them up. Back the palms are touching, or wrap the palms to touch each other if that's possible. If not, no big deal. You can always bring the right arm over instead. So pick what works best for you. Find your focus. Breathe here. Find that focal point. If you fall out, come back in. And release, let that go. Very nice. Good job. All right. We are going to next come into what I think is a fantastic, fantastic pose. For me personally, I've been doing it for a while. Some people may not like this pose. So there's a couple variations. We're going to come into Yogic Squat. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, having a block underneath your seat is a great way to do this pose. So if you have trouble in your knees in any way, shape, or form for this pose, come into Baddha Konasana, which is bound angle pose. So your soles of your feet will be together and your legs will be out to the side. You're simulating the same kind of shape. Or you could also come in onto your back and just pull your knees in deeply into your chest. So those are the options. But we're going to go ahead and work on Malasada. From here, I like to have my feet turned out and wider. Now, if you find that you're more flexible, you can have them closer together. And we're going to simply squat down like we're sitting maybe at a campfire or in the garden, whatever. And you can sit on the block if you'd like. Or if you notice that your heels come up, you could roll your mat up and you could tuck those under there. Or again, the block, you could put that at any level. And we're just going to simply come into Yogic Squat or Malasada. This is an intense pose, especially for most of us Westerners. We are not used to our body in this position, but it is a great opener, great for the back. Try to keep your back, I'll turn sideways so you can see this. Try to keep your back straight and coming out the best that you can. I'm going to turn the other way because I'm on a little bit of an incline here. Don't feel like falling over my video, although I'm sure that'd be funny. But again, you're trying to keep that back straight. So in order to do that, and if you can't get your feet down, you can always come up on your tippy toes. That'll actually add to it because you've got balance. Use that block. Block is such a great tool. You can just come right here. This is a great pose that I highly recommend practicing a few times a week, maybe once a day while you're watching TV. Just pop into this pose, use a block, whatever you need to do. And over time, you're going to find this is becomes a much easier pose. It's a great opener, just great all-around pose. Intense, but good. I'm going to release that. Sit down. Thank you so much for joining me for this short focus class. Hope it was beneficial for you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments you'd like about the class. And hit subscribe to be notified of any new classes. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.